Have you ever heard someone say, I'm leaving Facebook? There's too much drama. There's too much negativity. There's too much discourse. There's too much meanness. There's too much useless information. There are too many pictures of people being narcissistic and showing us their evening meals. I'm leaving Facebook. To me, that's like saying, I'm leaving Starbucks. There's too much negativity. The conversations are all about things I'm not interested in. There's too much drama. I say, well, what Facebook are you reading? And I think, what table at Starbucks are you sitting at? Because at my table or on my Facebook, it's positive. There are interesting conversations with interesting, positive people. There are people that uplift. There are people that pray for me and support me, and people that I pray for and support. And there's joy, and there are funny stories, and there are cute memes, and there are insightful articles that I get links to that I can read on my own. And I hear great music that people pass on. And at Starbucks, I have great conversations with people. And when I want to be alone, I read my own books and take my own time. What Facebook are you on that you would have a negative time and the only answer for you would be to leave? I have a suggestion for you. You ready for it? Here it is. Don't leave Facebook. Make your own Facebook. Make your own Facebook, because on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and TikTok and on every social media, it's your face that matters. When you smile, you'll find someone smiling back at you. It's just like life. It's just a different coffee shop or a different gathering place. It is a different street corner, but it is all about people. And if you don't like people, then maybe you should find a hole somewhere and crawl into it. But I would suggest that you make your own Facebook and show your own face. Well, here's my face. You see it twice now. At least it's the one I'm showing you, or the two that I'm showing you today. And the face that you show is the face people see. And the face people see is the face that people respond to. So as you're building your own social media community on your own platform, remember how you show your face will help determine the kinds of faces that you see. But I have some practical suggestions for you. You've heard people say, don't show your face around here. And we spent several years wearing masks, and now we're taking them off and we're showing. But we did learn to see smiles in people's eyes, didn't you? I did. And I often commented, that's a nice smile in your eyes. But here are some empty faces. How do we fill in the empty places and the empty spaces and the empty faces so that we have human expression and human interaction? Well, here's what I think can help you to determine that your social media platform reflects what you're looking for. Less drama, less negativity, more helpful conversation, and more positivity. Show your face and set the pace. Another word for that I would use is take charge of your social media experience. And the first thing you need to do as you create your own social media on the platforms that already exist is take charge of your contacts. Now, I'm open to as many contacts as I can get. I have a love for people and I enjoy a big community. But by and large, all of my contacts are great folks. I screen to make sure they're real and they're not selling something that I don't want to buy that is offensive to me. But once they're in, I set the pace with the way that I greet them and the way that I meet them. And you know what? If I find that the comments are negative that I'm reading, I don't comment, or I may pass over them. I don't put a like, I don't put a frown, I don't put anything down. I just sort of ignore it. And the algorithms take care of the rest. I see fewer of those negative comments. I don't get into arguments, and therefore I am not drawn into arguments. That is the magic of the experience, that you choose your contacts initially and every day. Now, at least once a year, I stay in contact with all my contacts, but I send the greeting and I determine the wording, and that helps to determine the response. So take charge of your contacts. I use a test. I call it the benefit test. And here's what I'm looking for. Will this contact be of benefit to me in some way? Can I learn from them? Well, we know that humanity is fearfully and wonderfully made, and we can almost always benefit from contact, but maybe not always all the time. So I choose my contacts based upon the benefit test of how that might benefit me. But maybe I'm not choosing them for how they benefit me. Maybe I'm accepting a contact because I think that I might be of some benefit or encouragement to them. And that is a strong motivator in my life. And by the way, if it is a strong motivator in your life, it will make your social media experience more positive. I come to social media primarily to give, but then I also receive. And that's a principle of life. As you give, you receive. And you can't negate that principle. The second thing you need to take charge of, and I try to take charge of, is my content. And therefore, I post positive, uplifting content, informational content, interesting content. Sometimes I share about my struggles, but not in a way that is hateful or mean. And I try very carefully, just like in my conversation with people, not to speak ill of people, not to downgrade people, not to disrespect people, not to think the worst of people, but to think the best of people. And by the content you post, you set the pace for the responses you receive. And if I receive a negative response, it will not draw me into an argument. I may either say something in response that diverts attention away from it, or I may say something that dilutes it, or I may say something that gives perspective on it, or I may acknowledge the person's feelings and their right to feel that way. But if they post something abusive to someone I know, I simply delete it without comment or hide it. So there you go. You take charge of your content. You are in charge of your content on social media. Then take charge of your thinking. Think before you write and reread what you have written before you push the post button, and always be in control of your own thinking. You can't control your feelings. You can uplift your feelings with your thinking, but you can decide what you are going to spend the most time thinking about, using your powers of cognition. Now, you say, this sounds a lot like living, doesn't it? Well, it is. Social media is just another platform for living. It may be virtual living, but there are real people out there reading and posting. They're real people with real feelings. Sometimes you get a chance to meet them. You can take charge of your cognition, and your thinking will inform your whole body and your emotions to have a better attitude and a better life and a better experience. You do these two things, and you will create your credibility, and you will create a culture for your own social media platform on the larger platform, and it will make a difference in your experience. You don't need to leave, you just need to create a new social media around your own values, and it will put expressions on the faces of people. And one of the things you might notice on this slide is they all have the same expression. So mix it up and let people be people, but let us see your face, your real face. Be a real person relating to real people and caring about people. And I will guarantee you, you do not need to leave Facebook. You just need to make your own Facebook, because it is your face that counts. Thank you for being a part of this offering from the Dream Factory, where we allow big ideas room to grow. Have a magnificent day.